Hey folks, Eric here, the Whatever Guy, because it really is whatever for me. And do you folks want to know about these cannabis MSOs leaving these states, and really the only people that are making any money in the states are the state? You guys stick around, man, and I'll talk to you about that. As you guys know, me, my name's Eric. I'm the Whatever Guy, and I usually shoot videos a couple days a week, basically keeping you guys updated in the world Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, hemp cannabis, just what's going on in our realm. And today, man, we're going to talk about all these cannabis MSOs, these cannabis multi-state operators that are leaving these states. And it seems like as these states get to the point like Florida and Ohio, where they get to the point where they're going to put these recreational cannabis on the ballot. These medical marijuana operators are leaving the state, and they're just moving out of those states. And as we move forward, we're talking about all the stuff that's going on with cannabis MSOs. It's really hard for those cannabis MSOs to make money. And what I figured out is with the process of Green Phoenix applying for a license in the state of Alabama and that whole debacle and everything that's going on, and then watching the news as these cannabis operators start to leave these states and the reason why they're leaving these states. In a lot of these states, what's happening is everybody's got their fucking money, their hands in this, and everybody's trying to get some sort of tax added on in every step of the way. It's not like when you get to the end of a cannabis run, a batch run, that you get a tax on the end product itself. That's not the way it works in cannabis. And the way it works in cannabis is every step of the way is being taxed, and and really the only people that are making any money in these states with these application fees and all this other stuff is the state. If you talk about Florida, these guys have an application fee. I think the application fee was $70,000, every year. I think that fee by Governor DeSantis has been raised like 2,700%. They want them to pay like $1.7 million a year just to renew that license. And as we move forward, we get to the position where they're going to put recreational marijuana on the ballot in Florida. That's basically going to kill all of that, like all that medical marijuana profit that they're making from that point forward. Like, why would anybody even need to go to a medical marijuana dispensary at that point? So we move forward into a position where all these companies, these medical marijuana companies like Green Phoenix and these MSOs, that to even get in the game, they've spent millions and millions of dollars. And basically what's going to happen is when federal rec comes, that's just going to kill all that. You're not going to have to jump through all those hoops to get a license or to even do business in the state. And really what it boils down to is with the state, like Florida and Ohio and those places like that, having all their hands in it, those cannabis MSOs are not making any money. Like everybody thinks that when they get cannabis in a state, that company's automatically going to make money. And what we're finding out is that cannabis MSOs aren't making any money. It's the government that's making money. So we're going to flip over here to an article. I believe this article is over here at MJ Biz Daily. We're going to take a look at it. Yeah, it's over at MJ Biz Daily. It says cannabis multi-state operators exit more states in the latter half of 2023. This is an eye-opening argument right here. It says after years of rapid expansion and more recently swift exits, some of the nation's largest multi-state operators have continued to streamline operations this year, according to MJ Biz Daily. Two of the country's biggest MSOs, Florida-based Trulieve Cannabis and Chicago-based Cresco Labs, exited state legal cannabis markets in the past 5 months, reflecting ongoing efforts to strengthen balance sheets as the industry awaits widely anticipated federal reform and improved investor sentiment. So, as we just talked about, Ohio, we just found out this past week that Ohio is actually going to put recreational marijuana on the ballot, and the same thing is going on in Florida. By 2024, by April 2024, the Supreme Court in Florida will have made their decision, and that decision looks like it's going to lean towards allowing recreational marijuana on the ballot. And what's going to happen here is these places like Trulieve and Verano and those places like that, they're going to get out of that market, and they're just going to wait until the federal or the recreational cannabis hits, or even the state recreational cannabis hits, and they'll be able to come back into the market with less overhead and less taxes being applied all the way through. Pressured by a tough macroeconomic environment and the slow pace of federal cannabis reform, MSOs began exiting challenging state markets over the past year and aiming to optimize operations in more lucrative markets. Cresco Labs exited Arizona and Maryland in recent months, a company spokesperson confirmed. The company has retail operations in 7 states, resulting in $191 million in revenue in the third quarter, offsetting divestments, according to Cresco's latest earnings. It's all part of the company's year to the core mandate, Cresco's Charlie Batchel said in a statement. Our third quarter results demonstrate our ability to drive solid performance with strong gains in our margin and operating cash flow by continuing to execute on a strategy where we win in our core markets with our core stores, core brands, and core products. Trulieve divested its 3 remaining California retail outlets this year, according to filings, and ceased operations in Massachusetts. By taking proactive steps to strengthen our balance sheet, streamline operations, and reduce inventory, we will exit 2023 as a leaner organization, Trulieve CEO Kim Rivers said during the company's third quarter earnings call. With strong cash generation and a clearly defined strategy, Trulieve is best positioned for the coming wave of meaningful growth catalysts. The move by the U.S. government to reschedule marijuana would be the most meaningful of those catalysts and could help spur more investor interest in the cannabis industry. And that's what it boils down to right now. Like as we move into these medical marijuana markets and the amount of money, like I told you guys before, Green Phoenix themselves, if we talk about the owners of Green Phoenix, they basically had to mortgage their home to get to a position where we could get to even apply for a license. For those of you who don't know about how it's going in these medical states, if you want to apply for medical marijuana in the state of Alabama, you had to have the building in place, all the equipment in place. Everything basically had to be in place the day they issued you that license, and then you had to be able to get marijuana up on the shelf within 60 days. And that in and of itself requires you to invest millions of dollars before you even get to a point where you get something in your hand that says you can even make marijuana in the state. And then as we move forward to that, you'll notice there's like 7 or 8, 9 different licenses in each state, from dispensary all the way to integrated licenses, manufacturers, processors. Every step of the way in the manufacturing process for medical marijuana is being taxed, not the end product. It's not like they're taxing the end product 10% like any other product in the United States. What's happening is when it leaves the integrated facility, say it leaves a farm, they're taxing that. When it leaves a manufacturing facility, they're taxing that. When it leaves a testing lab, they're taxing that. When it leaves a dispensary, they're taxing that. By the time it gets to the end consumer, they've already taxed these products about 8 or 9 times. If they get to a point where they make recreational marijuana legal in those states, all that tax will go away, and those states won't be making that money. And really, what's going on here is you notice that these MSOs are starting to leave these states, and you're starting to get out of there. They're not making any money. As a matter of fact, go to your local dispensary in most of these states and talk to the people that are actually running the dispensary, and they themselves will tell you that they are losing money all the way around. As a matter of fact, and the balance sheets that I looked at this past week for the companies that we were looking for, there was actually someone out there that was looking to invest in cannabis, and the cannabis result sheets that we looked at, the financials, every one of those, the taxes were higher than the profits that were made. All the way around. Every balance sheet that I looked at, the taxes paid were higher than the profits made, and in 9 times out of 10, the profits were less. Were not any profits at all. There weren't any profits. They were in the hole for that year all the way around, and that's why those cannabis MSOs are basically leaving these states. They can leave the state, wait till we get recreational marijuana, come back in the state and basically flood the market the way they want without all these taxes and without all this crap with everybody's hands in it. As it stands, I don't even know that Alabama's ever going to get our situation squared away because we have so many hands involved in a pot. And by the time we get medical marijuana in Alabama, the federal government may have legalized recreational marijuana in the country, and if that happens, there will be no need for medical marijuana. All these companies out there, like the company that I work for, that has spent several $1 millions getting these buildings up and getting to a point where we can even give medical marijuana to people, we may be in a position where we wasted all that money. Like we put all that money in to get medical marijuana, and then they're going to legalize it on the backside, and there won't be no need for medical marijuana. Like, why would I even need to go to a doctor to get prescribed marijuana if I can go down the road and get recreational marijuana? All right, folks, whatever got signing off. Have a good week. I hope everybody's understanding exactly what's going on. And if you have any questions, please hit me in the comments and we'll talk about it. All right, folks, whatever got signing off, and I'll talk to you guys later, man. Love it. See you.